The puppy realized I was probably going to die here, seeing its mother grab the rope and the car driving farther away. The puppy tried to reach her, but its mother shouted not to chase. The puppy had no choice but to obey. At this moment, the mother dog shed tears but had no strength. Without my mother's care, he was alone and hopeless, facing the dangerous world. He began to walk alone with his dog. From the days of sunlight to the nights of death, from gusty winds to heavy snowfall, the puppy stood firm like this, even losing its childish appearance. One day he walked into a small town, following a scent that led him to a stall. Seeing my stomach cry, he gently bent to let his master eat, but the owner showed no mercy, merely telling the puppy to leave. In despair, the puppy had to scavenge leftover food from the trash near me, but he soon found a hidden spot to enjoy it. Using the smell, he attracted a large black dog that was lying there. The puppy realized he could not win the food and had to abandon it, but after enduring all 81 hardships, the puppy finally met a man who successfully changed his life. They looked at each other. It seemed as if there was a kind of magic in the puppy that attracted him, but when the boy realized it, the puppy disappeared, remaining only in doubt. He found the puppy hiding in a wall hole because it was scared. He came to the mountain path in trance and looked inside, but I saw that the puppy had already hidden and did not dare come out. So he placed a few strawberries at the doorway of the path, then hid to observe secretly. The dog could not resist the lure of the strawberries. He quickly grabbed one and pulled it out. The boy laughed at the sight. It seemed the little man was hungry. All 3 strawberries were eaten quickly. I thought this would make the puppy come out, but he still hid and refused to emerge. The boy, without support, had to leave. The puppy followed me quietly. The boy seemed to notice it. Everywhere he passed, I would leave strawberries behind, but I did not see the puppy when I looked back. It seemed the puppy had wandered off. He had no choice but to get into the city car with his sister. What he didn't know was that the puppy had already sneaked into the car. From this moment, their luck officially changed. The puppy followed me all the way. After getting off the car, the boy and his sister paid no attention to it. When the puppy chased him, the path was blocked by a door, but the clever puppy did not panic. At first, he pushed the trash can with all his strength, then stood on it and jumped, borrowing the ladder outside the house. Soon, he climbed in through the window. When the boy and his sister looked outside, I was immediately astonished by the scene before me. I didn't know how this child found me. I opened the window immediately to let him in. My sister liked him very much, but the puppy's foul smell was really strong, so I had him washed completely. He named himself Bungee Jumping. I thought this would be a joyful beginning, but the boy and his sister were full of worry, because clearly their mother did not approve of them having a pet. Unexpectedly, at that moment, my mother returned from work immediately. They had to hide the jumping in a dollhouse. It was really difficult to find. If you didn't watch carefully, it would be missed. But I did not want to stay hidden. He opened the door quickly and ran outside. Luckily, the boy and his sister found him in time and hid him under the table. The boy slept with Bungee at night. At that moment, Bungee suddenly heard a sound and immediately got up from the room to investigate. I saw my mother talking to herself in front of a photo of her late husband. Since her husband had passed away, she struggled to balance work and taking care of her children. There was unending sorrow in her expressions. Bungee seemed to sense her emotions, lying quietly outside the door, listening. After my mother went to sleep, Bungee quietly jumped in and slipped into the room. First, he placed some envelopes on the bed and on the bedside table, then brought a blanket to cover her, like a child caring for a parent, quietly showing compassion for her immense struggles. Before leaving, I did not forget to turn off the light for my mother, but she had no idea what had happened. Regardless, I did not expect this. In the morning, my mother woke early to go to work and wanted to see her children. I saw the dog lying on the bed first. Mother was very angry about this, glaring at the dog with a frowning face, but she was busy with her work and had no extra time or money to take care of the dog. My sister tried her best to calm me down, and the boy had a major conflict with our mother too, but it was all in vain. The boy angrily grabbed his bicycle from the door while heavy rain fell outside. The dog looked at him pleadingly, but he could not change his mother's decision. I could only cry and leave. This was a happiness I had just received from bungee jumping. The guest room had turned into a bubble. It felt like losing my mother. The bungee jump at this time was lonely and hopeless. I had to start wandering again. The boy sat at the alley entrance and cried for a long time. They knew very little. Soon, the water jump saved his life and his sister's. One day, the boy and his sister entered a watch shop, but as soon as they walked to the door, the owner chased him out. My sister almost asked a question when, in the next second, a masked man turned his head. 2 masked men entered the shop to rob it, threatening the boy and his sister to remain silent. Unexpectedly, my sister struggled, randomly uncovering the thief's face, worrying about revealing her identity. Immediately, the group locked themselves in their car. My sister screamed for help. This scene was caused by bungee jumping, but immediately, the robbers ran away in their vehicle. Still, the bungee jump did not stop pursuing. He quickly found an entryway and ran out. Finally, I saw the robber's car at a fork in the road. At this point, the boy and his sister also noticed the water jump. Bungee jumping chased me, and unexpectedly, the group of travelers blocked the road. When I wanted to chase from behind, Bungee Jumping's vehicle had already escaped at the fork. Just as he disappeared, I noticed strawberries on the ground. This was probably a sign the boy had left behind. Thinking of this, Bungee Jumping immediately started chasing again. He searched for the strawberries on the ground. I didn't know how long I ran. Eventually, he found an abandoned house on the outskirts of the city. He carefully climbed up the window. I truly saw my brother and sister being captured. Unexpectedly, at that moment, a fierce guard dog of the robbers suddenly spotted him. The vicious dog charged straight at Bungee Jumper. Bungee leapt, twisted, and ran quickly. The movement of this aggressive dog immediately caught the robber's attention. Bungee acted quickly, leading the vicious dog straight into the commercial building. The dog got stuck inside and could not move. I couldn't focus on the dog because it was too fierce. The Bungee Jumper immediately returned to rescue people, and unexpectedly, he was captured by the robbers. Seeing this, Bungee turned and noticed a warehouse in front of him. He had an idea instantly. He deliberately led the group of robbers to the warehouse. He pushed them out of the openings, ran to the doorway, and forced them down. He locked the robbers in there. They never expected it. I had to chase the aggressive dog. Bungee jumped continuously, running toward the house. Shortly after, another robber emerged, but Bungee did not intend to attack him aggressively. Instead, he quickly hid inside an abandoned city vehicle. When the robbers opened the car door and hurried inside, I realized that I had already jumped out into the light. Timing was crucial. Bungee immediately rushed into the house to rescue people. My brother and sister were extremely happy to see the water jump. Just as the water jumper was about to grab the rope, the robbers struggled with the vicious dog. Where was it? With the help of the fierce dog. It didn't take long before the hiding thief was found. The thief jumped out of the window immediately, realizing he was not strong enough. We had to hurry back to the city to seek support. Shortly after, he arrived at the boy's house, but the mother was not home. Benji rushed to the watch shop, shouting for the manager to help. Unexpectedly, the owner locked himself in a room. The big and small water jumpers could not reach the door, so he had an idea: push a chair from above. But even so, he could not open the door. At that moment, he suddenly saw the keys on the ground. He quickly grabbed the keys and inserted them into the keyhole correctly. Finally, the door was unlocked, and Bungee jumped to the manager. The manager immediately understood the dog's intention. Shortly after, the police arrived, and the boy's mother rushed to the scene. However, I did not know where the robbers were hiding. Then, immediately, Bungee grabbed a mask from police. He even stopped and led them along. Mother seemed to understand the purpose of Bungee's jump. I called the police to follow me immediately, under Bungee's guidance. It did not take long before they arrived at the robbers' hiding place. However, I did not expect this. When entering, the thieves ran away. When the police asked, Bungee noticed a leftover canned food box. This was left by the dog. The dog could not speak. The officers thought the dog was searching for food, so I thought this was unbelievable. The boy's mother was furious and angrily told the dog to stop causing trouble. She immediately ordered the dog out. The water jump at this moment was truly distressing. I certainly wanted to help save the people, but she misunderstood her child again and again. Yet, the Bungee jump never gave up. At that moment, he thought of Dahe, the wandering dog with a strong smell. Perhaps Dahe could help track the thieves. The Bungee jump immediately sparked an idea. First, he snatched a bag of food from the shop owner. Soon, we arrived at the trash site where Dahe lived. I hoped to exchange this food for Dahe's assistance, but the food wasn't meant to be served there. It was to lure Dahe out. Dahe rushed to eat all the food quickly. As the saying goes, whoever feeds will be rewarded. Bungee jumped to grab Dahe's leash, signaling to help. At first, Dahe didn't understand reason. Bungee encouraged him to follow. After entering the house, Bungee brought the leash back and let Dahe track the boy by scent. Finally, Dahe understood Benji's intention. Unexpectedly, Dahe leapt onto the brick floor like a fierce dog. With the combined efforts of the two dogs, the heavy wooden board was lifted quickly. Dahe bit the leash and struggled with all his might. The Bungee jumper was so exhausted that I remained stunned. It turned out there was a hidden passage under bricks. After entering the secret path, Dahe caught a familiar scent. It seemed that the robbers had moved the boy and girl from that place. At the same time, the police officers and the boy's mother had also returned. Suddenly, I noticed the secret passage under the bricks. At that moment, they realized they had misunderstood the purpose of the Bungee jump. The Bungee jumper and the large black dog were on the other side. After passing through a long, dark path, we soon reached a fracture. They followed the scent of the old dock. A fierce dog's head was spotted sitting at the warehouse gate. The boy and girl were behind this fierce dog. Bungee jumped with determination, guiding the fierce dog out of that area. The fierce dog despised the Bungee jump. I chased after him without hesitation. Unexpectedly, the jumper turned sharply into the forest thicket. Dahe wandered through the thicket by chance and fell straight into the ditch. The fierce dog climbed onto the embankment, intending to take revenge. Unexpectedly, Dahe blocked his path. Dahe stood tall and displayed his strength. The fierce dog was so frightened that it collapsed to the ground. Its previous boldness vanished instantly. On the other side, the robbers climbed onto a large boat. They sold the boy and girl directly to human traffickers. Seeing the other party almost chasing the boat, Bungee immediately grabbed me. Fortunately, the boat's ropes had been left untied. Bungee jumped at just the right moment. Without considering the danger, he walked on the rope and headed toward the boat. The robbers tried to stop him with a stick. The Bungee jump was a risky move. He jumped directly onto the robber, but immediately the other side was thrown violently onto the boat. The robber lost balance and fell into the water. The frightened children rushed out to sea, and the Bungee jumper fell onto the boat and died. At this moment, the police hurried to the scene. Another robber almost ran away, but unexpectedly, a fierce dog blocked his path. This fierce dog had changed. It was no longer aggressive and now became protective. The robber tried to escape again, but Dahe stopped him. Finally, the robber was captured by the police right there. The boy and girl were successfully rescued. However, the vision of the bungee jump became even more poignant. The boy led him to the embankment in sadness. The mother also felt conflicted about the events. I never imagined that the dog he had once disliked could, without regard for danger, save the lives of 2 children. Thinking about this, everyone's hearts grew heavy. Yet at that moment, Bungie slowly opened his eyes, his body gradually waking up. Upon seeing us, he prepared to intimidate. The bungee jump demonstrated his loyalty through his decisive actions. He recognized us. He would spend his entire life protecting us, even if it meant sacrificing his own life. All kinds of dogs deserve love from humans, without question. Is this not the same courageous dog that saved people? But what was even more heartwarming, the boy's family didn't just care for one old hen, they also took in Dahe. From that moment on, the 2 dogs had found a home, and even love began to flourish. I believe it won't be long before they receive the full rewards of their love and devotion.